You may be seated. We have a visitor here today. We like to say welcome. Our pastor, he's out of town today, so I'm just standing in his stead for right now. So I don't profess to be the world's greatest speaker, but I'm gonna try to do my best tonight. And only reason why I'm up here tonight is because of the assistant pastor's son. And he had asked me Tuesday night on the way out to church, he goes, Sister B, when you going to do another class on budgeting? And I said, for what? Why? I said, I done it so many times. I don't know, how much could I do? You going to have some going to listen and some not going to listen. And I said, no. And he said, but I help with you. I help you. He was so excited. So I said, no, I'm not going to do it. So when I went home, I was telling Bishop about the service, and I was telling him about Michael, how Michael got up, how he did such an excellent job. And when I told him, I said, Michael said he is the undefeated heavyweight champion in his house. And Bishop go, wow, I just like that. Oh, I just like that. And I'm going to tell you now, you're going to be up a whole lot now, Michael. So you better be, how they said, you better come loaded and locked and loaded, and be prepared. Because Bishop said, that's my man, he gonna use him. And I also thought that you was on duty back there, but, and he said that, and I said, and he only did, I timed you. I looked at my watch and it said 7:43. So Bishop said, well, you can go just the same amount of time he did. So I'm going to beat his time and say 7:45. So I'm going to go wherever the Lord say. But that is why I'm up here today, because Bishop said that we need it again in the church. Because we have, we're not being a good steward of what God has given us. Anytime the Lord has blessed you to be able to get up in the morning, go to work, have a job, bring home an income, you have to learn how to handle that income that he is bestowing on you. You can start out with a little, and God can turn your little into much more. So if you cannot handle the little, what you going to do when you get the much more? Because if you get the much more, you're going to bring yourself back down to the little. And be honest with practically everybody. Most everybody had made some kind of financial mistake. And I'm going to be honest, most of the black community don't teach finance in their home. You know, and that's why we behind in the 8-ball. And what I had learned that long as I'm the type of person that I will always pay my bills regardless. I just believe in paying bills. I don't believe hitting and miss, because if I owe you, you're going to get paid. That's just the way I am. And I always was a type of person that I believe that you got to put a little aside for a rainy day. And I remember the time when we got married when we was like 22, 23. And we've been married about, I believe, 45, going on 46 this year. So we done made all the mistakes for every last one of you guys. And somewhere down the line, my husband got it together. He got it together, and we made mistake. We weren't taught, but I knew my mother always would make us have a little saving account when we was little kids. At San Antonio saving, we'll go, she'll give us maybe $2, $5, and we just put that money in there for a saving account. And so that's kind of got me on to the part of been saving. But we're going to go back to that scripture where Bishop talking about being on one accord. Chaz, could you read Matthew chapter 10? And let's go, I believe, 34:37 or 34:36. 34:37.
Okay.
And I'm going to see how I can beat the scripture like Mike said. Bishop done talk about one accord, so our topic going to be one accord in your finance. Go ahead.
Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. I came not to send peace, but a sword. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law, and a man's foes shall be they of his own household. He that loveth father or mother more than me is not worthy of me, and he that loveth son or daughter more than me is not worthy of me.
Okay, so you have to be on one accord. You got to be on one accord in your household, and you have to be on one accord in your finance. So when we say one accord, that means when it comes to husband and wife, y'all got to be on one accord. You can't have one spinning here and one spinning here, and you don't know where it's gone, and the next thing you know is like, where's the money at? Don't you know that's one of the main things most couples fight over? Money, maybe sex. I don't know. But most of it is money. It's money. That's the argument, is money. You know, and how you do your money is not going to be the same as how this family, this household do their money, because everybody's money is totally different. Everybody's budget is totally different. And in order to find out where you're going, you have to have a budget. And, you know, people come to me and they say, well, Sister B, can you help me with a budget? Can you help me with a budget? And I said, sure. And the first thing that comes to my mind, I know I need to stop. I'm wasting my time because you're not going to do what I asked you're going to do. So the first thing if you're going to ask me, if you're going to come to me and ask me about a budget, help you with a budget, the first thing your first assignment I always say is, I'll need you to keep a diary for 2 whole weeks of everything you spend. That means going to the grocery store, the quick shop, getting gas, bubble gum, Haagen-Dazs, whatever. Write it down. Every time you go get that Starbucks, write it down. I believe I had did this with Queenie. And Queenie was, every morning she was at Scooter. And Queenie said for 2 whole weeks, she said that bill was $70-some on a cup of coffee. For 2 whole weeks. Scooter. And you don't be paying attention. You know, I'm just buying me a cup of coffee. Next day, drive up, cup of coffee. Another next day, drive up, cup of coffee. And you're not paying attention how much you're spending. And then she said she had to turn around and ask herself, do I really need that coffee every morning? Man, you can go to the grocery store, buy you a cup of coffee, or get you a bag of Folger. Whatever coffee that you like, get you a coffee machine, get you a nice cup, and let that coffee start to brewing, and put it in your car on your way to work with your own cup of coffee. Now, my job furnished the coffee. So that was free coffee. All I had to do was just bring the stuff to dock up the coffee because the coffee didn't taste that great. But that was another outlet. Well, the company furnished free coffee. But you'll be surprised of the little things that you spend money on. Now, me, right now I'm into this frozen mango fruit that is frozen. And I'm kind of doing it because of my health, you know. I thank God I'm in my 13th month from being sick. And I'm telling you, you look at things differently. Some things ain't worth arguing over. You see life totally different. You know, when you've been that sick and that much pain. And that's me, is between having a baby and the pain I was in, Mm, I might say they might be on the same scale. And I wouldn't, that's something that I thank God every morning. And I said, Lord, I thank you because 13 months ago I was sitting in that hospital. And I thank God. I thank God for being in the land of the living. I thank God for the activity of my limbs. And I thank God for being in a better place in my finance. Because it have not always been that. And I tell God, I thank you. And if you don't know how God said he will give you wisdom, he will give you understanding if you ask. He always says, seek wise counseling. Okay, now, my thing was, it's all depend how you put your money. Some people, when they get married, I'm just going to go by how we did it. We had one pot, and all the check went in one pot. And I'm going to call my husband. He was the CFO. So all y'all single people, y'all own CFO. So I trusted him because he said he wanted to handle the finance. So I put my trust in him. So that was like all my check went into this one pot. But the killer part was that I had to ask, hey, I need a pair of stockings. Well, did I just give you some money last week? Yeah, but I got to run. How you run a stocking? Men just don't understand. And then there was, at work, there was on the table little lunch money. I go, what? And I'm going like, really? See, this is something y'all have to discuss. But you young. You say, okay, I go along with it. So I entrusted him with handling the finance. So then we went to, it's time for me to have my own. So he went ahead and agreed. But I had to give him everything except for $300 because it went into the pot. So the pot was house, light bill, gas bill, or whatever we had. And I forgot all about it, but we did bought a house when we first moved here. The only reason why we bought a house that when my husband was in the military, our goal was that we were going to stay on base, but there was no housing on base. So he ended up sending me to his mother, but he could stay in the barrack. So I went to his mother for about 3 months, and he stayed in the barracks. This is why we got married now. So we got married, and he took me to his mother. So, hey, that was in Indianapolis. Then he had to report. Then he had to report to the base here. So there was no housing, and the plan was we was gonna have live on base in the housing, but it was all full. So that was his next solution was, okay, I gotta have a place for her to stay, and he knew that he can stay on base for free. So I didn't have a job. We just got married. He was the only one working, so he thought that was the best solution. So I stayed with them for about a couple months. About November. I got here, got married in August, was there in September, till December. So while he was here, he was looking for a place to stay. So finally, he started to buy a home. And that's where he ended up buying a home. And then he came down and got me. And I remember we stayed in a little motel until the house got together. It's in Bellevue. I don't know if it's still there anymore. It's a little blue motel, not hotel, motel. And that's where we stayed at until all the finance went through and we bought a house. And we stayed in that house we stayed in South Omaha. Nobody didn't tell me at the time that South Omaha smell. Nobody didn't tell us that. And people, I go, where you live? And I go, South Omaha. Whoa, that stinks down there. And we sure did. We live right off of U Street, right by the stockyard. Nobody didn't tell her. When you knew in town, you don't know, you don't know. But it was a nice little neighborhood. But I guarantee you, after about the third day, you don't smell it no more. It's something about nasal fatigue. You don't smell it no more. And I remember we used to go to church in North Omaha. And we only had one car, so I used to have to ride the bus, ride the church van. And when they said, she on the van, we got to go to our South Omaha. And the first thing they holler, oh, it stink. Oh, it stink. But once you live there and you get used to it, it like it evaporate. But it did have a smell. But you don't smell it no more. It was it hogs, cows? What was it? Yeah. That's where we stayed over there by the stockyard. But getting back to the subject though, but can you raise? So then we went from one box, I want to put 2 boxes. And I gave him everything except for $300. Out of that $300, I took care of my kids, buy grocery. There wasn't no such thing as a $600 grocery bill. No. I bought the necessity to keep the kids going. Roman noodles, they love it. Cereal, milk, peanut butter, and jelly. And Bishop had to have his little steak. And I put it all together. But you learn how to manage a household. And so I put the kids above our needs. Because we want to make sure the kids was taken care of. And after that, as years go by, when Bishop started, and another thing about it, when we started the church came for our bills. Because he'll say, well, you know what, I need to get can you give the money keep the lights on? So we kind of like sacrificed our income to make sure the church was paid, keep the lights on. We did that. And at that time, you got to remember, the church was small. I mean, it was very small, and we had kids from the street, from the hood. So, our tithes may be $10, maybe $20. So it still fell on us. But it was hard. We struggled. We made it. But then I came to the point where I told my husband, I said, well, we need to start saving some money. He said, well, we can't afford to. And a lot of people said that. I heard that we cannot afford to save money. Okay. Everybody on that third row, when you get a job, the first thing you're going to do is pay yourself. Kobe, you pay yourself. When I say pay yourself, what do that mean, Kobe? That's right. You get that, Mr. Bell? Okay. What about that, Makai? You got a job. Are you saving any money? Okay. More than $1? Okay, what about you? Okay. Now, one thing about Star came to me and Star said, Sister Barlowe, my family never taught me about finance. And she said, can you teach my kids? Because I don't want my kids to come up like us. And I want to hand it to James. I'm proud of you, James. So I can say, at least James, listen. Now, James, you own a house now. The next thing you got to do is make sure you save, have a saving, continue to save. Because when you become an owner of a house, things going to happen. Something going to break down or whatever, but you should have money to cover whatever breakdown. And, you're lucky that you got a father that can fix everything. But still, you got to have the money to buy the things that you need to fix whatever break down. And I found out, I'm a saver. I do not spend beyond my paycheck. I don't. I do not try to keep up with the Joneses. I don't. And the Joneses is Mr. Barlowe. I don't keep up with him. He make way more money than me. What it look like me trying to keep up with him? I don't. I stay in my boundary. Draw a square for me. I stay in my boundary. I stay within my paycheck. I don't believe in living. Okay, I did it, done it. Now I don't do it no more. I don't believe in living from paycheck to paycheck. You robbing people to pay Paul. While you're young, you don't have to do all of that if you do your money right. But sometimes there's a situation that comes up where you get yourself in a situation where you're robbing people to pay Paul. And then you don't have enough money to pay the next bill. And then these people charge you a lot of interest for being late. So this is what I do. People always want to know, how does it feel like that your husband pay your bill? Not my bills, pay my house pay. He pay house payment, gas. The reason why he does that because he's at the stage in his life where he can take over that for me. I used to do it, help him out. We did it together. But now he's at the stage where he can do it because he feel like, hey, I can do it. You don't have to worry about it. And point is, I thank God for my husband because he look at his budget every day, all day. Me. I know what I got in, what I got going out, so I don't need to look at it every day, but I know I should be watching. But I keep a cushion. And for instance, like I would tell him, like I told y'all, when I get paid, I always take out some cash, and it would be like $175, sometimes $200. And I play with this little cash. This is little cash, I go put my gas in my car, I go get my hair done, get my nails done. If I see something I want, I got $175 I can spend within that. And then when it comes to like, when I gotta get my hair done, I used to take half of that, what I know is gonna cost me, and I put that aside. And I take my gas that I know was gonna cost me for gas for 2 whole weeks, I put that aside. And when I put it aside, I put half of it aside, so when the next payday come, I have the other half already. So it's not costing me more. And if I have money still left over from that $175, I just keep that in an envelope, and that's just free money. Okay, so that free money just sitting there. So then the next payday, I do the exact same thing again. And then sometime I might have $30 left over. That's free money sit there. So I got another $30 sit there. Next thing I know, I go look in this drawer where I done set this money at, and that's $300 sitting there. And that's money. And then Bishop would say, "Hey, do you have this? This came up. Can you go? Can we? Can you get this?" Well, I don't want to go in my bill card. All my bills is accounted for. Well, I can go in that little stash right there. One time Bishop said, "Well, we're going out of town. We're going to go see the boys." And I said, "Oh, man." So I go in my stash. I had my little stash there. And it didn't come out no bill money. It didn't come out my gas money that I set aside. It's called my free money that I stash away. And sometimes I be putting money aside, don't even pay attention to what I put aside, and I will just out of mind, out of sight. Now, when like if my job said we're gonna give you a bonus, I don't spend that bonus. Why do I need to spend it if I'm living within my boundary? I save it. Now, only one time I kept up with the Joneses. Bishop had this necklace, the little bee. I thought it was so cute that I wanted it. And he said, "Well, go get you one." And then I asked him how much he'd pay for it. And when he said, I said, "Oh, no. Can't do it. That's too much money." And then then he asked me, well, how do you see yourself? Do you see yourself as you worth it? And then I thought about it. Then I said, I work hard, play hard. You know it. And then I said, I got the money while letting it sitting there. And so then I got to the point, every time I seen him wear his, some told me just to snatch it off of him. I kid you not. It's just something just came on me because I wanted, but I didn't want to pay for it. And so that's when I realized, girl, just go give him the money and then pay for it. And I forked up the money. And do I miss that money I forked that? No, because I got my little necklace. And sometimes, but that came from money that I saved. Is that your savings or your extra? That's my extra. When you do a budget, you need to first keep a track of everything what you spend. That kind of give you an idea of what you have. Then you need to account for how much money you got coming in the house. Your checks, your 1099, whatever you get that coming in the house, put all that together. Now you need to start paying up all your bills that you pay. That including gas, food, rent. Now, my third rule and first rule should never be broke. You should never make the mistake that we have made. Never. Never. Every one of y'all should start out on a clean slate. Once you compile all your bills together, you add up your bills, subtract from the total income you have. If your total come up into a positive, that means you got extra money. If it come up to a negative, you over your head. So, what I suggest that you do is you got to come up a way to how you can make up that negative balance. And also, another thing, as couple, don't be paying the same old bill for 10, 15 years. I think once I hit 60, I said, I'm going to be retiring pretty soon. And I said, I got to get my bills in order because I was doing the minimum payment. And thank God I had a job though where we worked a lot of overtime. And I said, I didn't want to be 65, still playing the same old. And then I said, once I go to Social Security, well, I'm not going to have no money to live out with Social Security. So I came up with a plan. And I did my plan, and I said I gave myself at least 4 years. I worked every Saturday morning. I was working while y'all was sleeping. Except for Kwana. I was working, and I forgot Pastor Linda too. And I would work. I will get up at 6 o'clock on Saturday morning, and I'll work sometime to 10 o'clock. I hate working at 12 because when you work for 12, you got all these people hitting at you that you got to ask questions, and I didn't want to deal with all of that. And I save my money, put money aside, and I start. And one of the bills I hated the most was Discovery. And that interest was so high. I had Discovery when I was a junior at the University of Texas. I got my first credit card. But, I had to end up using Discovery to buy diapers. Hey, you do what you had to do to make ends meet because remember, when we moved up and we didn't have no family, it was just us, me and him, and Rafi. So when it came to diaper, hey, Sears was selling diapers. I went to Sears on my credit card and bought some diapers. And that was one of my goals, is to get rid of discovery. I did it. So that's one big bill out the way. And then I had a dealer's bill that was high. I had a Walmart bill. I had Capital One bill. But I didn't have a lot of credit. Those are about it. Because I couldn't afford anything else because I had to live within my means. But my credit was high. What I owed was high. And I paid dealers out, paid Walmart. I had to go, I stayed out of Walmart for a whole year. A whole year. You know how you go to Walmart, you go up there and make that payment, and then you stop at that second floor? And then you look around that second floor and you see all those shoes. And then you go buy your maybe 2 or 3 pair, then walk up and say, woo, I feel like I'm rich. Because I got this bag full of shoes. But I caught them on sale. But still, that wasn't right. And then I go all the way down to the first floor because I got to make it out the door. And then I said, let me take this little left over here. And let me go look at this dress. I only look for the sale dress. I said, ooh, $30, I got a sale. But all this catching stuff on sale, having a high, it was bringing my bills up. So I stayed out of dealer for Walmart for a whole year. I walked in there, paid that bill, and walked right out that door. And I said, I did it. Because most of the time I couldn't do it. But I got it all down, and then I told him, this is my goal now. My goal now is to only keep Dillard's and Walmart no more than $300. That's the goal. That's the goal. And I have one more bill, my Capital One, and that's my last one that I got to work on. So I'm saying that I am maybe 90% to my goal. And I have another goal that I'm setting myself is I want to, when I retire, maybe 2 years from now, or 3 years, my husband keep telling me, why do I want to retire when all I do is got to walk down the steps and sit down at the And I be saying, yeah, you just don't want to take care of me. But my goal is to have $100,000 in cash. That's my goal. And I'm at the phase where I made my budget, paid the bills out, pay one, take the next money, pay the other. But at the same time, one of my bills is called saving. That's one of my bills is called saving. And another one of my bills was like, everybody should have emergency fund. Have an emergency fund. I say the minimum, at least $1,000. You can't do $1,000, do $500. Everybody that is a homeowner, you better have an emergency fund. Because things will break. And like in our house, it's always 50-50. And my husband said, last summer, something was wrong with the air conditioner. I cannot stand heat. I called the dude to come by, and Bishop said, but you going to pay for it. I said, I don't care, as long as I get some air in the house. The dude went in the house not even no more than 7 minutes. It was a little something that he just clicked like that. Hey, but I'm happy gave him that money for it. But if you're a homeowner, you have to have an emergency fund. You got to have a fund for things that will break down. That even if you own a car. You got to have fund for a car. And in my household, I usually pay my own tax. When I got to bring the car in, I pay for that. When I buy my tax, I pay for that. And I really don't ask my husband for much because I'm a type of person that, hey, I got my own money. I can do it. But I'm the type of person also, I help him out. When he like, we got this business now. And Camille called me up and said, Mom, we need this, or we need this. Next thing I know, I am the supply clerk. I play a lot of roles in my house. I'm the supply clerk. You know? And then he'll say, well, I need you to do this for the business. What half can you come up with? And thank God that I had money set aside. Now, when he talking about half, we're not talking about $500. He ain't talking about 1,000. Bishop ain't talking about no 3 or 4 or 5. You know? But I had the money to give it to him because it didn't come out no bill money. It came out of money that I had set aside. And as a wife, if your husband is paying majority of the bills and you still working, the least you could do is have a savings set aside. As a wife, that's the least you can do. And back to the question Quana asked me, what does it feel like? That you don't have to pay no light, no gas, and I keep saying, but y'all don't understand what I'm trying to say. I used to, but now that my husband figured that he can take on a burden. So I love my husband for that. And I appreciate him for that. I tell him every now and then, I said, you know what? I appreciate you taking care of me. And I said, I know you, thank you for taking care of me even when we had all those kids. And he was just a cheesing. So that's a little secret, y'all. You know, and he said, that's all I wanted to hear. You know, so that way I'm saying, don't be a type of wife where my husband paid this and that, and my money is my money. I can do whatever I want to do, and I just spend my money. Now, if you get a husband that is a saver, you blessed, that loves to save. I have a friend that they've been married for about 25 years, and they both doing pretty well. And they put their money in one pot, and that pot is for emergency. But what they do is they'll agree on who's going to pay this bill and who's going to pay that bill. So everybody's different how you do your money. And so she said that he agreed to take over the house payment. So she said, well, okay, I do the light and the gas and the water. Because she was thinking that the light, gas, and water is cheaper than doing the house payment. But let me tell you what brother man did. He loves to save. He saved money, he got money, and he saved money. He paid that house out. He paid that house out in 15 years. And now she hollering about, he ain't got no house payment. I'm still paying light, gas, and water. Well, you didn't think it right when y'all thought about who's going to pay what. And he said he did his part. And I said, you can't be mad. He did his part. He paid the house out. But she's still stuck for the rest of her life with a light, gas, and water bill. So I said, well, maybe you might need to renegotiate it then. Now, but there are some sisters, not just me, that their husband is doing their doing the big bills. Ariel's blessed. Stephen take care of Ariel. When you ask me how I feel, I'm still dishing out money. That's what I'm saying. And then we're not going to talk about Tremont. Tremont, he's doing it. And Davion is doing it. Now, Pastor Leonard, I don't care what you say, that's still my son by another mother. That's my sweetheart, Davion. That's my baby. Even though he got me up in here doing this today, that is an awesome kid. He is awesome. He take care of his little Bree. And he gonna speak on it tomorrow. Since he got me in this, so he gonna speak tomorrow. He's gonna tell you what it's like to be a young man, taking care of family, holding it down, not making mistakes. And he gonna go to the investment part. So once I did all of that, now I'm ready to do the investment. I'm ready to take a chance on investing. So I said, well, Davion, I don't know anything about investing. You got to show me. So he said, how much you want to spend? And then I said, well, so I said, how much did you start on? He said, I started out with 50. Well, little Q got some money. And so then I said, well, I'm willing to go do 500, maybe up to 1,000. And he said, yeah. He said, well, are you ready to risk it? I said, yep, I'm ready to take the risk. I'm going to take the risk and apply it by faith. So that's going to try to help me to get up to my goal that I said what I want. So it's time I'm going to do investment. So that's what I'm going to do. Now, so remember to get a game plan. Review your budget. Husband, wife, y'all need to talk to each other when it comes to a budget. Just because you the CFO, the assistant to the CFO wants to know what's going on too. So if the man is doing it, sometimes the wife, whoever can handle the finance the best should do it. If both of you can do it, you should do it. Both do it together. Have a meeting. You want to have a date night, have a date night on them books. So y'all know where y'all are. Have a game plan. God did not meant for us to be poor all our life, to be struggling all our life. I don't want everybody to be struggling by the time you're 40 years old and you're still struggling like you struggled in your 20s and your 30s. You did it in your 20s and the 30s. Now come on in the 40s, time for us to move on up. Don't wait till you get 65 and figure it out and say, hey, I got to get rid of some of these bills. But I thank God that I'm in a better place in my finance. And I had to do these moves to do it. And I thank God that when things come up, I go into that savings to help pay for things that we need to cover. And cause when you don't have that savings and things to cover, and you got to go into your main account, that can blow out your whole bill. Because let's say your furnace breaks down and it's cold. Let's say it's about 25 degrees. You know you don't want to be shivering that house for 3 whole days, for a whole week. You got to get some heat in that house. And if you don't have a fireplace and you don't know how to chop wood, you don't have money to go buy the wood, you have to. I mean, that happened to us that it was so cold in our house. Why did it break down on the coldest day? Why do things like that happen? My front door is as a window. It was ice all on the windows. I put blankets on the door. You know, we had space heater in the house. And it was to the point where they told us so many people were having this problem and we was on a wait list. So we was on a wait list. When they came to us, they got it fixed. And at the time, my husband didn't care. He just wanted heat in the house. Yes, we still making payment on it. But the thing about it is, he got it done. And I thank God for my husband. You know, he will, like I said, he look at his budget every day. He work hard. He look at it. And he's going to make sure. I can't say I never, ever, without heat, without water, longer I've been in a house. Never, ever. I remember time going to MUD, OPPD, and waiting that long line and trying to pick a number and trying to make them, give you extension. I did all that too. So when you look at me, don't think that I had a happy life, that my life was easy. We went through some of the stuff. So what I'm trying to tell you, don't go through what we went through. If you're young, you shouldn't have to. Every single woman up in here, all of y'all should have y'all little fund set aside. Every single woman up here, you should have you a fund. You do not spend all your money, your paycheck from paycheck. You save you some money. You understand? You save money. Now, I'm in this square. And my paycheck, I'm going to make sure I don't go past here. I live within here. Anything that is left over is gravy for me. I don't spend the gravy. I freeze the gravy. Put it on ice. And you know, once you start doing it, it become a habit. It become a habit to you that, hey, I can make it off of that part. I can make it off of it. And once you make it off of it, you'll be surprised it will grow and grow and grow. And that's another way to get out. Now, I got by. I beat Mike's number, but as usual, save for a rainy day, because I guarantee you, rainy days is coming your way. It might come as a storm, and it might come as a tsunami. And if you prepare, it'll just be a smooth sailing, because you prepared for it. James, prepare for a saving. Prepare for a rainy day. You're going to get tested, James. Have a rainy day saving. You got to be a good steward of the money that God entrusts you with. If God entrusts you with more money and you mishandle that more money, what you going to tell God? Well, Lord, you gave me this increase, but I blow it. I was in a store one time. This girl said every time she get paid, she buy herself some, and that meant shopping. And then I said, that's not a bad idea. Maybe I should start doing that. But no, I want to ask her, but what are you putting aside for a rainy day? And like I said, I had a coworker at work. They'll buy a car maybe every 4 or 5 years. And when they buy the car, they pay cash. And she wasn't a black girl either. So that tell you. I kind of learned from watching from them. And if your company have a 401k, that'll be nice to join the 401k. If your company match up to 3% or 5%, try to match your 5% because that 5% is free money. If you can afford it, if you can afford to do the 5%, do the 5%. It's just like money you don't never see because you don't see it coming out the check anyway because you don't see it. So that's something that you should always do as a 401k. Talk about emergency fund. You contribute to your 401k. You got a spend account, saving account. So I want to challenge everyone up in here. If you don't have a spending account, saving account, start. Won't you try it for 6 months? And just say, if it's just $5. I had opened this account from Wells Fargo. And Wells Fargo told me, hey, won't you put $25 towards saving? First thing I want to tell them, you don't tell me what to do with my money. And I said, why are you telling me that I need to save? Then I said, but I understand what they were saying. So I said, go ahead, put $25 in there. Don't you know that been maybe about 7, 8 years, and I have never touched that $25? And I was just thinking about the other day, and I said, well, Deb, it's time for you to up it. So I'm going to up that $25. And it's just sitting there. I don't use it. Out of mind, out of sight. But I know if a rainy day comes, I know it's over. I got that. Okay. Now, couples, y'all got to work together. Y'all have to find out what worked for you. You might be the type of person that y'all got one account, she got account, he got account, and y'all put such money in the pot. And then if you put that money in the pot, that pot supposed to go for expenses. The money has to go toward expenses. Whoever the CFO of that account, you are entrusted to handle the family business. You are entrusted. Sometimes, I'm going to tell you what, speaking from a woman point of view, my husband is the CFO of the account. And he always tell me, don't worry about it, I got it. But everything's been done on a piece of paper, but it's the way he write it down and how he do it. And then he said, well, all you got to do is just read the piece of paper. And I'm going like, I don't know. I want a woman, okay, I'm going to say me. I like to be told, this is the day the house payment going out, and this is the day that we paid MUD, and this is the day the car payment is going out. That's what I want to know. But you telling me, well, it's here. No. Talk to us. If you tell us what day, what's going on, when, how, and what, we know. And it's vice versa with if the woman is the wife is the CFO. Talk to your husband, because he might say, I need I need some wheels for my car. And all he knowing that he putting this money in the pot, and he's seeing you out here dressing so fine that you know, so he going, where's our money going? You spending that money somewhere, so that means that you got money to spend on you. Then I got money to buy me some wheels. And then next thing you know, chicks start to bouncing like crazy. So, wife, don't take advantage of your husband, and husband, don't take advantage of your wife. Okay. 3 more minutes. So, don't take advantage of your CFO. CFO, don't take advantage of your. No, they your assistant, your right hand person. What's that called? Yeah, your right hand partner. Don't take advantage of it, and don't be the type of person like, he pay all my bills, so I can do whatever I want to do. No, don't be like that. I don't even ask my husband for any money. I just hate asking. You know, he can honestly say I never had to ask him to make a car payment for me. I never had to ask him to buy my tags for me. I never asked, because I know I just do it. And just like he kind of asked me about the second car, because he said, well, I don't want this car to be out in the snow, and this is what I want you to get. And the first thing that looked in my mind, like, what? That ain't in my budget to come up with another car. But he be throwing out some good deals to me. And so he said, well, if you get it, he said, I'll pay for it. And he said, oh, you got to do the paperwork and whatever. And I thought about it. Did you believe? No. Cam and them done picked the car out. Pastor Barlowe done picked the car out. And all three of these men done picked the car out for me. All I had to do is go do the paperwork. And so he said, well, this is what I need you to do. Get all whatever you need to do, the paperwork for the car, and I'll just get all that together and everything. And I said, oh, man, I don't feel like doing all of that stuff. I hate doing all this paperwork. And so Cammie come by the house, and I said, well, Cammie, can you help me with this paperwork? Cammie said, oh, Mom, it ain't going to be a piece of cake. So Cammie said, Mom, how long you been on your job? And I said, oh, about 16 years. He said, and he asked me for Social Security. And 20 minutes said, oh, you got the car. And I said, that's all I had to do. And Bishop was telling me, get this paperwork done and get this paperwork. You need to pull these documents. 20 minutes, I became a car owner. But the reason why they took only 20 minutes to come credit on, because I had a good credit score. Oh, put it like this. I work hard for that score. I work hard for that score. I was paying bills like crazy. Do you know what it's like? You go pay a bill and you got a $2,000. You do it like this. Should I pay them $2,000? I just said, get it over and give it to them. Okay. Let's say when I went to buy the Benz, I didn't pay attention. I just pay my bills. I don't go check on my credit score. I normally don't, because they say the more you check on it. So I said, I don't got no good credit anyway. So while we was in there filling out the paperwork, now Bishop would pick all the cards for me, and came and put his input and say, well, mommy need to be in this kind, And I always said, it can't be over a certain X amount of money. And then he'll say, well, can you afford this much more money? And I said, yeah, I can afford that much more money. So he said, when you go into the dealership, they're going to ask you a lot of questions. You just say no, 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 no. And then when you get to the part, he said, well, do you want this for your car where, I don't know, KT, what you call it, where I took out where I get all my oil change and when I take the car in for all that thing? Yeah, so I took out to make them more and pay for all of that. And I did all of that. So that was a number sitting up there in that corner. I'm looking at the paper. Now, remember, Bishop just say, meet me at the dealership. Everything's in my name, not his name. Because it's like, this is my car. It's going to at least be in my driveway for at least 3 years. Nobody can tell me to get rid of it. And so that was this number sitting up there. And I asked the man, I said, what's that number for? And he said, that's your credit score. I said, you got to be kidding. And I looked at my husband, I said, man, I can buy this car right out. He said, be quiet, girl, just keep the paperwork. I said, no, we're going to do this all over again. He said, no, we're going to keep what we're doing. It was 807. But I worked hard for it. I worked hard. I paid my bills out. And let me tell you, every last one of you all can have a credit score in 800. And I know Christian, and they do, because I remember Mike said his father taught him how to save money. And like I'm telling y'all, see, it can be done. Now, I'm going to tell you something now. I decided to get a credit card, and me with I ain't going to call myself dumb. I didn't realize that when I open up a credit card, if I'm going to get a credit card, I should have put both income on it, and I put one income on it. And I got declined. And you know why? That house. The house is in my name now. And they saying, how you going to have a house and your income's like this? I didn't put his in, and they said, why? I said, I didn't know. I just thought I was supposed to fill out a credit card and I was supposed to put just mine. No, you're supposed to put because they're going to look at your combined income. Okay, I'm getting ready to stop, but I got one more thing. Wade, where's Mr. Wade up in here? He just smiling like crazy. Come on down. Come on down. Wade been cheesing like crazy. Because he's going to the chapel and he's going to get married. Okay, we're going to have a pop quiz, and Wade going to be part of the pop quiz. Don't mess up, Mike. Don't mess it up now. Come on down, Courtney. Now, Courtney been in the church longer than Wade. She going to be tested on what she have learned. Get on down here, Courtney. Y'all, we having a pop quiz. And I know Wade can act because I seen him when Pastor Leonard had him do that. And I said, I don't know. You better rethink that. Okay. This is the scenario. The name has been changed. The participants are real. The situation might be real. And if you have if your name is the name of this, what I'm talking about, this person, we're not talking about you. This is just part. Okay. Wade is all happy, smiling, because he's going to get married. Now, Wade is going from a one house. So he's the CFO, the CEO. He's everything of his house. So Wade, he's paying his light bill, gas bill, mortgage. He's doing it all. So Wade is that man. He the man. Now, Mr. Wade saw this little lady named Courtney. And he said, I want to marry that thing. Now, Miss Courtney, she's coming with a little package. That's 3 of them. So Wade is saying he wants the whole package. Not Courtney, the whole package. Keep the mind up. Have it up. So Wade he's gonna become a stepfather to 2 teenagers. Now Wade, seriously Wade, you need to get your budget together, because you taking on teenagers like to eat. Next thing you can know, your water bill gonna go up, your gas bill gonna go up, and then Wade gonna be behind him like, cut them lights out, turn them lights out. Now, Wade, I'm asking you. Okay, let me finish. Now, let me get to Miss Courtney. Now, Miss Courtney, she been driving this car for quite some while. And Courtney said, I'm getting a good thing, too. She said, he going to take care of me, take care of all my needs. Maybe all my bills going to be washed away. So she's going to say, quit that. Got to stand between them. So she gonna say, he's so sweet. Oh, babe is so sweet. And he always say, whatever babe want, babe get. Have you ever heard the statement, happy wife, happy home? I don't never hear any black people say that. It's always the other. So Wade is in this la goo goo stage right now. So he's saying, whatever babe want, babe can have. So babe's saying, I need a new car. Because babe been looking at the Joneses. And she saw the Joneses driving with a brand new red Tahoe that has TVs in the back seat. And so she said, I just love that. I need a Tahoe. I said the characters are not real. Now, Wade, you realize that your light bill went up. Water went up, but the mortgage stayed the same. And we're not going to talk about food. Your food bill going to go up. But Wade said, I can handle all this all by myself. Give it about 2 months, and he going to say, babe, we're going to have to have this little talk. I know I said I'm going to take care of all this. Because I just want to be that man to take care of everything for you. And she go, he's going to take care of everything for me. Now, they're going to have a talk. They're going to have to discuss, Because your budget is not going to be the same anymore once you put that ring on it. And you need to talk before you put that ring on it. And you need to look at your budget. Because you got to remember, Miss Courtney still have a house. So I ain't in none of your business. Y'all business. But y'all got to talk about all of that. And don't be thinking that you can do it all by yourself. Now, this is what I told Courtney. You can tell me to mind my own business. I mind my own business. But this, this is what I told Miss Courtney. I said, Courtney, you know how some men's like, I want to take care of you, babe. I take care of all your bills. Some men would say that until they realize that she got to get her hair done, nails done. Every 2 weeks, got to get them toes done. And then you're going like, whoa, I didn't think about that. So, Courtney, you got A, B, C. A, you're going to tell him that I really want this. B, you're going to say, well, I really can't afford it. We just got through having this nice, gorgeous wedding. C, I'm going to demand it. This is what I want. So, Courtney, think about it. What you going to do? Don't mess up my thing. Wait. I know you said that you're going to take care of all her needs. Because that's what I want to do. And you just got through coming from this gorgeous wedding. And now you got to regroup. But how do you tell your babe, I can't get you this car? So, Courtney, tell him what you want.
My answer is going to be B. Because we're coming off of this wedding that he...
No, you didn't. First, you got to tell him what you want. You want this Tahoe, a red Tahoe, with TVs in the seat. Because you saw this lady with one, and you just said, I just got to have one, too.
Okay. So, babe, guess what? Guess what I seen? I seen this Tahoe that I want, and it's got third row seats so I can, put all the kids in there and to their practices and all that. And it's black, it's big black like I like it. It got TVs in the back, and I can just see us rolling. We can even go on road trips in it, so that way we can even use it for that. I really do talk like that to him. I really do. But so yeah, so you think we can get it? He's still with the big ass. I know that's right. You think it was a Tahoe? Really? I know that's right.
You messed up my scenario. You wanted the road to make it happen. Okay.
No. Okay.
Wait. I told you, whatever babe want, babe get. Didn't I tell you that? Okay, this is the right answer. Okay, you took a hit in your finance. Okay? Why you want to suffer?
I have plan B already.
Excuse me? Well, you know what? Okay. You know what? That goes to tell me that man know how to save some money. That man is a saver. He is a saver. And Courtney, don't you dare. All right, y'all gone. Well, you never know what you never know. You never know. Wait, no, you probably go ahead. I'm proud of you, Wade. But still, Wade, you still need to know how to say no. I have a habit of adopting sons around here. I'm too young to be Wade, mama. So he's my adopted son. My youngest son is Deborah. I don't care what you say, Linda. You're just going to have to share. That's my youngest son, is Davion. So I'm adopting Wade. He's so manable. It's always yes, ma'am. And I want to say, I ain't that old, but I am. Okay. All right. It's time for me to walk down. I didn't think Wade was going to answer like that, but he had that much confidence in himself that he could handle it. I wanted her to throw a little tantrum, but, he said he can handle it. So when he said you can handle it, that means he got his business together. So that brother got it together. So I'm proud of you, Wade. We're going to dismiss. And Pastor KT going to pray us out. And Betty going to call off the call. And after that, we'll take our offering. And in an announcement after that, we'll be gone. I'm sorry I went over, but thank you. Do you have a question? What a credit score is? That's the score.
Precious Lord, Father, and Savior in heaven. Lord, your word says, who can find a virtuous woman? For her price is above rubies. Lord, we thank you that our man of God has a virtuous woman. We thank you, Lord, that she's willing to share her experience. A lot of people don't know what they went through to get where they got to today. None of them saw us coming. But God blessed them to be prepared for when we got here. And Lord, we thank you for that. We thank you for what she taught tonight. We will not forget saving. We already know, first and foremost, tithe and offering. But we must put savings aside. It's been taught since I got here. I teach it to the new warriors. 2 savings. They know. I was waiting for Kobe to say it. For Makai, for Chris. 2 savings. She just verified that. This is a woman who has experienced, who has been through. She's teaching how to keep a marriage on one accord. It's not by no coincidence that she called Wade and Courtney down. They will be facing finances. But if you got love first, you may be willing to do, but you may not always be able to do. So you must be on one accord. She stressed how communication is so important. Talk to each other about everything. Talk to each other like you talk to God. Because the most important relationship in any marriage is your own personal relationship with God. We thank you for Sister Barlowe. In the name of the Lord Jesus Christ, we pray. Amen.